So I now request Raj Chandrasekhar to share his thoughts.
Professor Raj Reddy, it's good to see you after a long time.
We were going to see more and more hair.
Well, I was actually coming to that in a moment. I thought I would, introduce myself to all of you, notwithstanding the very kind introduction that was given. I'm the same person you saw in that video. But I must explain that I didn't lose the hair because of IIIT. It was lost because of several other things, which perhaps were more demanding and less enjoyable than setting up the IIIT. But Professor Narayanan, Sister Nirazu, Ajay, Dr. Mohan Reddy, Dr. Uday, and all my good friends here, and most important, the students and people who are pushing the research agenda along. It's a great pleasure for me to be here for several different reasons. I have been away from Hyderabad for a long time, and while I did make some visits now and again, I must confess that after the initial years of association with the IIIT, I have not been in constant touch with the institution in the manner in which, for example, Dr. Raj Reddy has been leading it closely and Ajay has continued to be associated. But I think it's extremely heartening and heartwarming to know that the institution has exceeded on almost every parameter the rather high objectives which were set for it. And I do remember that at one point when there were some discussions which were taking place with Dr. Raj Reddy, and Ajay was explaining that we want to set up a world-class institution. I don't know what went on in Dr. Raj Reddy's mind, but he told him, do you have any idea what it takes to set up a world-class institution? And Ajay, with all his enthusiasm, said, we don't know, but we certainly want to make it world-class. And it was quickly obvious that we didn't know, but Professor Raj Reddy knew how to make a world-class institution. So the obvious answer was to somehow get Professor Raj Reddy to lead the charge and guide the institution through its early years, because working on the idea, forming a partnership with industry, providing government support by way of land and buildings, maybe money if it was sought, are all things which may be a little difficult but are doable. But at the heart of any successful academic institution, and much more an academic institution which breaks new ground and leaves its own footprint on the national and even more on the global arena, is certainly no ordinary challenge. And therefore, from the beginning it was very clear that it's not the money, it's about who you bring in and how much of a shared vision there is, and how that leadership will translate this vision into fulfillment. Of course, I was mentioning a little earlier, but for the benefit of many of you who were not present in some of the informal discussions that we were having earlier in the afternoon, the birth of this institution was actually in response to a set of circumstances where at that point Hyderabad was just establishing its footprint in the IT map of the country. And the whole of the Hyderabad IT industry was contained in one building called Maitri Vanam, which today I don't know if it is still there. It is still there. I don't know if the IT industry is still in it. Maybe it's still there. But the entire export or the turnover of the industry in Hyderabad at that time was, I think, around 5 crore. 5 crores was the turnover of the entire IT industry. And today it has come to a point where it is I think over 40,000 crore. At that time, the entire Indian IT industry was actually aiming to become $1 billion industry. And even at that time, there were gasps of disbelief when you said that the Indian IT industry is going to become $1 billion industry. And today it's over $100 billion. But to come back to the point, I add a little bit to what Ajay was saying about the origins of this institution. As the industry was coming into the city, and a lot of efforts were put in to attract the industry by reaching out to them, by trying to create world-class infrastructure, of which the high-tech city was just the first step. And coincidentally, the meeting for discussing and deciding on the IIIT institution was also held on the same day in the afternoon with the same set of industry leaders who had come for the launch. And the main thought process at that time was that the IT industry said, but if we come to Hyderabad, we need world-class people. Where do we get that kind of human resources? We don't think that the kind of resources that we need are available there. And therefore, the feedback from the industry was that what the universities are producing is not the kind of human resources that we need. They are not aware of the latest technologies. They are not aware of the trends. They really are not equipped to work in today's industry. In fact, we have to spend almost as much time and energy to train them as the university spends on giving them their degree. So we said, how do you fix that? So we tried to get the industry together and collaborate. The first problem, of course, was human resources for the institution itself. Where do you get the faculty from? And this is where we told the industry that, look, if you want quality manpower, then you also need to contribute to the effort to create it. And therefore, a combination of industry setting up schools within this institution and putting in place people who were of a higher caliber in terms of their competence, being located in those schools and being part of the adjunct faculty of this institution, along with regular faculty of the institution. And this combination was, it was hoped, would actually lead to better understanding of industry needs by the academia and of academic drivers by the industry. So in any case, it was clear that all of this is going to evolve. There were financial challenges, there were structural challenges, there were objective challenges, and it was therefore very clear at the outset that given the divergence of views between the industry and the academia, the industry says, I want somebody who will be able to successfully drive work in my company from tomorrow. And the academic view was, we are not in the business of imparting skills. We only impart knowledge, and skills will come later in life. That's not what academic institutions are meant for. So bridging all these divergent views and creating an institution of excellence which is geared towards and aligned towards the industry needs was a monumental challenge. And therefore it was felt that putting in place a structure which is capable of evolving, which is capable, which has the flexibility to undergo changes based on its own assessment of the needs on a continuous basis, keeping in view trends in technology, keeping in view the evolution of the industry, and putting in place the leadership of the highest quality were imperatives. And it was quite clear that this could not be easily done within the confines and constraints of a rigid governmental system. And hence this idea of the institution with all its flexibilities was born. And the price of the flexibilities was a constant pressure to find the resources to meet its own needs and to guide its own expansion. I think what has been accomplished in these 15 years is truly amazing. And I must take my hat off to all the people who have actually steered this. and in particular to Professor Raj Reddy, who has been the constant fixture in terms of the providing the academic and business combined direction and leadership to this institution right from day one till today. I am delighted, Professor Raj Reddy, that you have remained firm in the saddle, and in fact, while I must confess that while we used every combination of persuasive powers, the Chief Minister, Mr. Chandrababu Naidu, who was a very active proponent of this institution and who also persuaded Dr. Raj Reddy to take on this responsibility, we used every possible power, including, as I said, a little bit of emotional blackmail, saying you have supported this idea, now please help us to actually make it happen. But I must confess that even I never dreamt, never even hoped in my wildest dreams that he would continue to associate in the manner that he has done for the entire period of over 15 years that it has been now. So I would like to take this opportunity to convey my heartfelt thanks to him, and I know he thinks now of it as his baby. But as I said, this was how it started, and it grew in a very in a somewhat different trajectory, because over time, with the kind of people who led it, with Professor Raj Reddy, Professor Ahuja initially, and then Professor Sangal, the focus also moved on to a much more research-oriented institution. And based on the interests, based on the perceived needs, a lot of effort went into developing the research agenda apart from the teaching. And in one sense, you may say that this agenda drifted from the original idea of creating human resources that the industry so badly lacks. But I must say that today the clock has come a full cycle, and this institution is doing exactly what the industry needs today, and I'll explain this in a moment. And for other institutions to actually position themselves the way the IIIT Hyderabad has positioned itself to meet the industry's need would take them a very long time, because IIIT Hyderabad has, with unbelievable foresight and prescience, actually done all the groundwork over the last few years. Let me mention why this is so. I mentioned that the industry today has grown to $100 billion, over $100 billion. This is something that we can all feel very proud about, because for the first time, India has an industry which is truly world-class, world-scale, present in more than 100 countries worldwide.